It's been reported that the Dallas Cowboys plan to release Amari Cooper, which would make him a free agent. Also, did you see all the speed at the combine?
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today, we are going to talk about Amari Cooper being released, not necessarily saying, should the Eagles go sign him, go sign him, go sign him. But I do want to compare him amongst the other free agent wide receivers. And yes, the speed is going to be introduced to the NFL. There's already speed, but 9 of the top 10 runners, all 4.39 or better. That's going to bring a lot more speed. But before we get into it, help your boy out and hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new and ding that notification bell so you know when these videos drop.
Keep that roots going, baby! Roots out there! Watch out there! Roots!
Let's see if we can get this to 200 plus likes. Let's start with the 40 times. And there's 2 guys on here who's much more than just speed. That's Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. They got route running, hands, they got it all. Plus, they both ran inside the 4.39 and 4.38. But let's talk about some of the other guys like Bo Melton, Danny Green, Calvin Alston, Taquan Thornton. And this list is very small for my eyes. But I talked about Taquan Thornton last night when I thought he broke the record, right? 4.21 unofficially. Now it's 4.28. But these guys on this list, including Sky Moore, some of these guys are going to be quality second, third, fourth, fifth rounds. And if utilized right, they can be something. You can't teach speed. You can teach how to catch. You can teach routes. It takes some longer than others, and some people can't learn it, a la Jalen Reagor maybe. But you can possibly learn that. You can't be taught speed. So the amount of speed coming into the NFL this year is going to be crazy. But let's get to Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. This has their stocks flying up because they're already legit wide receivers. You know, Treylon Burke, Drake London, Jamison Williams. They're being talked about because they're all-around skill. And they got some speed. But these guys can really take the top off while doing other things. Now, I got a segment for Chris Olave and a segment for Treylon Burks, who's not on this list, from a month ago video, because I did a video talking about 3 analysts that did mock drafts for the Eagles: Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, and Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper had us drafting Chris Olave, Bucky Brooks, Treylon Burks, and Daniel Jeremiah had us drafting Drake London. That's who it was. It's funny. They all think we're going to get a wide receiver. Philly Mikes believe it's coming via draft and maybe later, via free agency and maybe later in the draft. But if we don't get one, the first couple weeks of free agency, well, then I'm going to be looking at the draft with you guys. So let's talk about Amari Cooper real quick, because I saw it floating around on Twitter that should the Eagles sign Amari Cooper? Should we sign him? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say no, right? He's a great player, great route runner from Alabama. All these things are good. But the 3 negatives that I got on him, I can't sign him for a decent amount of money when I see Chris Godwin over there, when I see Mike Williams over there, when I see Allen Robinson, even DJ Chark, who's not better than him. But at this time, the money we'll spend, our bang for our buck, might be worth it. Because Amari did disappear in away games. He has had injury problems. And most important, this is petty, I don't care. Cowboys don't do well with the Eagles. We've seen it time and time again. Whether it was systems like Chip Kelly forcing DeMarco Murray to do something he can't do, I don't care. I've seen it. Now, if the Eagles signed him, I wouldn't be like, no, because maybe we did it for a discount, or maybe, whatever the reason is. But if you stack him with the other free agent wide receivers, I think the Eagles have more reason to go get somebody else. I will say this, though. He's only 27 years old. People want to trade for Calvin Ridley, another Alabama wide receiver who can run routes smooth. They want to trade for Calvin Ridley, give draft capital up. Calvin Ridley is 6 months younger. Cooper's only 6 months older than Calvin Ridley. One came into the draft old, one came into the draft young. It's crazy that they're 6 months apart, and Cooper already been in the league double his time. It's wild. But yes, I will not sign Amari Cooper unless the perfect scenario came. Now, before we get into the Chris Olave clip Mel Kiper said that I reported on a month ago, let's hear what Gio said at the NFL Combine.
Well, I mean, Howie Roseman might be listening right now.
Yeah.
Gio. So what would you tell him if he was listening to you right now about your Eagles?
Wide receivers and linebackers. Please, Howie, for the love of God, get us some linebackers.
Well, I mean,
he said, please, Howie, for the love of God, get us some linebackers. Howie was there. Gio the podcaster. If there's anybody you can reach out and just get in Howie's head, it got to be Gio. And one more time, listen to it.
Howie Roseman might be listening right now.
Yeah.
Gio. So what would you tell him if he was listening to you right now about your Eagles?
Wide receivers and linebackers. Please, Howie, for the love of God, get us some linebackers.
That's crazy. Now, this clip I'm going to play was from a video I did a month ago. Mel Kiper having us pick Chris Olave at 19. Listen to what he says about him, and listen to what I say about if we got a wide receiver who's not a true X big one, the league might be trending that way. Number 19 for Mel Kiper, Chris Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State. This would make back-to-back-to-back drafts that the Philadelphia Eagles went wide out in round one. Olave was a touchdown machine at Ohio State. He had 35 in 4 seasons. He's one of the best deep threats. Wow, 35 touchdowns, one of the best deep threats in this class. 6'1", he can play inside and outside. He's a player who looks better and better when you watch all of his snaps in a game. Because even if he didn't catch 10 passes, he was always open. Whoa. We know about that with Devontae Smith, and I don't know if he can truly compliment him as the X receiver, but we've seen guys like Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, who are not true X's in body, stature, just tear up this league. Just tear up this league with volume catches, yak catches, just everything, right? Exactly. Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Ocho Cinco back in the day, Antonio Brown. These are all not typical X receivers, but they got the volume and the plays. Again, it's good to have the big body receiver and go get it. I understand that. But if you got a guy who can still do all that, who just doesn't look like that, you still got to rock with him. The league's trending towards speed and stretching the field. The defense is getting quicker. Linebackers are getting thinner. Safeties are getting faster. DBs are being faster. You got to get a combination of both. Again, I ain't mad if we go get a 6'5" Drake London or a 6'3" Treylon Burks, who Bucky Brooks had us picking at 16. But at the end of the day, if we don't get a free agent wide receiver, then Philly Mike, by March 20th, if we don't get a free agent wide receiver, I'm going to crush the draft videos for a wide receiver, whether it's first round, second round, third round, fourth round. But real quick before we get up out of here, listen what Bucky Brooks said. I'll read what he said about Treylon Burks. Number 16, he got us selecting a wide receiver. Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, who's also a junior. He said with 3 first-round picks, the Eagles can afford to add another wide receiver to the lineup as a luxury item. Burks' size, strength, and ball skills would make him the perfect wide receiver, too, to pair with Devontae Smith on the outside. So him being physical, taller, a possession guy, a guy who can go up and get the 50-50 balls. I got to do my due diligence before I say it's a good pick or a bad pick, but y'all sometimes know more prospects than I do. And still, until I start doing my research, well, I've been looking at Treylon Burks, and I like what I see simply because he might be the total package. I think he's going to be a heck of a receiver. We're going to break him down, too. Would have liked to know what his 40 time is, but he's faster. I saw the game. He's not faster than these guys, but he got the speed. And when you combine it with his 6'3" stature, I just think that he's still one of my guys I'm going to be looking at if we don't go get a free agent wide receiver and we elect to use one of these first-round picks. Chris Olave, Treylon Burks. Got to look more into Drake London. But let me know your thoughts about the 40 time. Let me know your thoughts about Amari Cooper. Let me know your thoughts about the Eagles wide receiver room in general, right? Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper. Like, go ahead and break it down for your boy in the comment section. Y'all kill it. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.